Another topic that often causes confusion is traffic lights and priority of movement and different type of maneuvers. So let's go through questions that usually get our students confused. First of all, with pedestrians, we always let pedestrians pass. There is, as far as I remember, not a single question where we don't let the pedestrian pass because they always kind of like have the priority. There is no question where we don't let them pass. So, for example, here in the first question, it looks like there is like a red light for the pedestrians, but actually it's a green light just as it is for us. So we always let them pass. Also here, it's like an equal road crossing and pedestrians are planning to move even though there is no zebra. We're still obliged to let them pass, okay? So we're always letting pedestrian pass, just remember that. Then here, green arrow on a red traffic light means you're allowed to go, but you have lower priority compared to other cars for whom it's the completely green light, right? So this is the main light, right? And the arrow is like a secondary thing. So for me here, it's red, but for the other guy, it's green. Even though this is an equal intersection technically, so if the traffic lights wouldn't work at all, I would go first because I'm on the right. But as the traffic lights work, he has the main traffic light working. For me, it's red, but I have this small green arrow here. Means I am allowed to go straight, but I'm lower priority than the other guy. There are a couple of questions like that, so pay attention. Here, this is a question where I actually got tricked myself, so let's look into it. Bike makes a U-turn, and making a U-turn, he and the truck technically have same priority, right? If like the bike would go straight and the truck would go straight. They're both on a lower priority road. And the car technically is on the main priority. If these two are low priority, then automatically this other street is high priority, right? Main road. But for this car, for the red car, it's red light. And as we just discussed here, it's the same situation, just with the right turn. He's supposed to turn right. But so technically he would go first if he would have regular green light. But as we have the green arrow, it means he is allowed to go, but he has lower priority than the other guys who have a green light as the main light, right? Second thing to pay attention to is that the motorcycle is making a U-turn, so someone going straight has a priority over someone who is making a U-turn. So technically, it will be the truck, then the car would be, yeah, so if you count it like that, well, if you count it, if it will be like completely equal road, then the motorcycle would go first because he is on the right from everyone, so he's going first. But it's yeah, in this case, it's the truck, then the bike, and then the car. Here, similar situation. So technically, which vehicle driver is required to yield the right of way when driving in the direction of the arrow? So the tram driver is supposed to yield because, again, the tram can go because the green arrow is light up. And normally trams have priority on equal intersections, but it only has a green arrow, so the tram automatically becomes a second priority. So the car has a main green light, it goes first, and then the tram goes turning right. Here again, you see, here they want to trick you, also giving the green arrow to the car, but the car also has a normal green light, so it still has priority, right? So here we have normal green light and the green arrow, and here these guys have just the green arrow. But the car goes first. It's just the weird translation. The car goes first because the tram and the bike have second priority because they have the green arrow only. Normally, if it would be like an equal intersection, first the tram would pass, then on the right, then the car, and then the motorbike. But in that case, the car and then tram and then motorbike. Okay, here again, trick question. The car is on the left side, so it can't turn right. But always when we have left turn, it's also allowing a U-turn as well. So straight to the left and backwards U-turn. Here we have, you see there is also an arrow to the right, but we're in the left lane and there is a solid line. So we're not allowed to turn left anymore. Next one, pay attention to the three options about traffic lights. If it's green turning yellow, like here, it's okay to go. If it's red turning yellow, we're not allowed to go. We're supposed to wait for the green light. If they're all blinking yellow, it means they're not working, so we're allowed to go. We're not supposed to wait for the traffic light to get fixed, right? Okay, this is a challenging topic because even though I've driven a lot in different countries, I never saw this T-shaped light signal, okay? So first of all, let's look how it looks like. Here we have a tram, and normally if this would work if, for example, a tram or like a bus goes here, and then the bus could go straight left and right. And this upper lights, let's check them how they look in, yeah, here, that's how it look like. It basically means left, going straight, or going to the right. And the bottom one means like green light, for example, green, and all of them means I can go any direction. Green and left means I can only go left. Green and upper one, the middle one means I can go only straight. Green and right one means I can only go right. So when they all just lit up, we're not allowed to go. But if it's like a bottom one and one of the upper ones, or all the upper ones, doesn't matter. Main thing is that the bottom one is on and at least one of the upper ones. So let's check how it works. Four T-shaped amber round light signals may be used for regulation of traffic on the specific lane designated for the movement of road vehicles. So, for example, it's a road for public buses that goes in the other direction than the other cars. So it has different rules for it. So three lights above mean left, straight, and right. The light below means you can go. So the combination means you can pass. So here, here you can read, but it's basically what I explained to you. So here, which vehicle driver is allowed to proceed to their direction at the signal of the traffic lights? So it means that this traffic light is for regular people, and this one is for the tram. So, and the tram knows that. So here, this car can go to the left because it's a green arrow, it can go straight and can go right, but the tram cannot go. Maybe because it's green here for pedestrians, so they want pedestrians come first. Whatever the reason is, the tram cannot go because the bottom light is not lit up. Here you can see it. Here, during traffic regulation by T-form traffic lights, route vehicles are not permitted to drive if only three upper light signals are turned on. If the lower and one or several upper light signals are turned on simultaneously, it means that you can go, right? So you cannot go if only three upper ones work. Okay, here, if you're preparing with Android, you're using this website. Here's the wrong translation. I checked it in the original, and it means that the car has to stop at the red light because there is a stop line, and trams have priority on an equal intersection. So here, the correct answer in the test will be that you can go, like the trams go first, and the car has to let them pass. In the exam, you answer that the car has to yield to both trams. And here, as you can see, also we get this question sometimes, what does it mean that cars should stop if there is a stop line on the traffic light, and if there is no, then they're not allowed to stop. Here is a perfect example to compare as well. So the car has a green light there, and it turns right, and then there is a red light here. And if there wouldn't be a stop line, the car would be able to pass, but they put there a stop line probably because there are trams. So the car has to stop and wait for this traffic light to turn green as well. Here in this case, the car is not obliged to stop because it just crossed this green traffic light, and then there is no stop line, so he's not obliged to stop. Okay, I hope it makes it clear now. Okay, this is a tricky question. It tricked me a couple of times already when I was recording videos as well. So here, Very important. Always read the question. In what order should vehicles proceed through an intersection with the traveling in the direction of the arrow if the traffic lights is not working? If the traffic light is not working, then we're checking the signs, and the signs say that this is a secondary street, and this is a secondary street. Means bus and motorbike are high priority street. That's why they're moving first. If the traffic lights would be on, then signs wouldn't matter. And if they have green light and they have green light, then it depends on, then like you count as, well, it wouldn't be the case. It wouldn't happen like that. But let's say that there wouldn't be traffic lights at all, and it would be equal roads. If it will be just regularly equal roads without the sign of secondary road, then we would just calculate. On the right is the white car, so then it moves first, then bike and the bus, and then the last one would be the truck because it's on the most left compared to all the participants. Here, when no signs are visible, you just assume it's an equal road street, because like if you think you're on the main street, but the other guy thinks so too, then the collision will happen. So always coming from the right will have priority if no signs are visible. Okay, this is a great question as well. Which vehicle driver is required to yield the right of way when driving in the direction of the arrow? The driver of the white car, because the one changing the lane has to let the other pass. And in this case, white one is changing the lane. Like this would be a regularly a lane for the black car. There is also an obstacle for them. So the white car is changing lanes, means that the driver of the white car has to yield and has to let the black one pass. Hope this was helpful for you, and see you in other videos.